Okay, it is 9:18 a.m. April the 23rd, 21, and I haven't really started on the watch list today. It's not going to be anything huge. I'm just going to see what were the biggest percent gainers yesterday, if it was anything I missed, something like that. But I guess it's just to go over it now. BLSP, I won't be looking at it today, kind of faded off. Unless it were to continue and maybe break yesterday's day high, that would be impressive, but it's not going to be on the main watch list. HMBL is going to be a watch, maybe a morning panic, who knows. Maybe it's going to continue an uptrend, maybe it'll just consolidate. That's the same case with IMVU, although this one, not sure what I did there, this one spiked much nicer, so it's going to be a watch again. Maybe it can continue, and that's good. It'll give itself more range for a potential morning panic setup. LTNC will be the same story. OZSC, this one is actually doing better. Maybe this can continue a few more days, I don't know. That could make a very nice morning panic setup in the future. I'm also looking at not long term, but stocks that are going up on a day, just breakouts, general setups like that. RGBP doesn't look as nice as the others. Will not consider it as much as the others, but if it makes a morning panic, I might trade it. I would like to think that, yeah, from the other video yesterday, was really close to taking that buy right there, but I just wasn't there at the moment because I had to help with the groceries, and I totally missed this setup. But it shows that it didn't last that long either. Could have been much worse, but again, all of these things are going to be a wash. I'll just see if there's anything else I missed in the main watch, not the main watch list, but if there's anything I missed on stocks to trade, their scanner to see if there's any new ones that I missed or something like that. But it's probably not the case. So I'm just going to remove this one, put it on the other watch list, and we have 10 minutes till the market open. That's all I got at the moment. Okay, it's 9:36 a.m. So I looked at HMBL for a morning panic, and I just didn't like the price action. And then it just had this weird spike. It just wasn't something I was too interested in. And then when I looked at the watch list, I noticed RGBP was starting to fade more, and this one actually turned out to work out. I missed my entry, not because I was too scared or whatever. I just took too long. I was looking too much at HMBL. I like lower priced stocks like RGBP, and because I was too busy looking at HMBL, I was too late by the time I got my order entry and everything to potentially buy it, and then it got to the point where I didn't want to chase it. So RGBP is probably the best. Shouldn't have looked at HMBL because RGBP does have fundamentally good news behind it. Whatever that news is valued at, it's something that is a little better than being promoted. Now, I'm not saying it's not being promoted, but it has like these good news, so like actual news. So that's the state that I'm in at the moment. I will be looking at this for a higher low setup off of this morning panic low, so that's the setup I have in mind. HMBL is just being a choppy mess. I'll probably just move it over to the other screen just because it's a bit choppy. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Wasn't really going for morning spikes, just morning panics, and that was the one I could have traded. In the future, I'll just prioritize the better one, which is the one obviously to me under $1 and has some good news in theory. Okay, it's 9:49 a.m. Just want to make an update. So RGBP, this could be in theory that slow number 5 setup. It has that drop spike, and then here's a higher low. Only problem is that there is a lot of people on the ask, and I just don't quite frankly like it, but I think it will work. If anything, it'll just be a good screenshot for me to take and save just to remember the pattern from a different angle. One that did it actually much nicer is HMBL. This one actually did it. So here's the low, right? 60 spiked, and then here's the higher low. Why would I just randomly consider buying here? Because it held this VWAP level. Same thing with, let's write it back, HMBL. Same thing with RGBP. Held the VWAP level, not perfectly, but it held it. So in theory 25.8, maybe 25.9 to 26.5. So it seems to be working, at least for now. But this one is just a bit iffier because there is a lot more people who are on the ask than there was here. This one touched it and immediately bounced from it. Not much range here, 68 to 72, but it's doing it. Nothing I want to trade with GGII. It's not the same because they didn't have a warning panic here to buy a random VWAP hold, and on top of that, kind of looks like a head and shoulders. It could hold it, but nothing I want to trade. LTNC, nothing I want to trade either. OZSC, don't want to trade it. The whole chart is messed up because of that one wick. See if I can get rid of it. Nope. And yeah, RGBP. It looks like it's doing it. I'll make an update, see how it goes. But yeah, that's the idea I've been thinking of. Alright, it is 10:10 a.m. RGBP, check it out. So I had this morning panic, missed it because I was looking at HMBL. Very nice move from 23 to 27. So definitely over a 10% move, maybe like a 15% move max. And it held VWAP right here. It was kind of iffy, didn't like the price action. Wasn't looking too nice, but I just need to just not be afraid to trade these. I'm not gonna beat myself up for missing this one because the price action wasn't that nice, and this is really a setup I'm still experimenting with. I'd be salty if I missed the morning panic and I was on time to see this morning panic and everything. That would have upset me, but this not so much. So check it out. It held here 25, got to 27, so give or take 10% move. Had I have still been in this trade somehow, I would have sold by now, just because of the fact that we might do like some kind of a triangle right here, so it could do some kind of a breakout or a breakdown from here. That is a 50-50, so I don't really want to be a part of that. HMBL, again, morning panic, if you want to call it that. This was a choppy mess. Should have focused again on RGBP because it's a lower priced stock. These higher priced OTCs tend to be like this. They're just weird, and it doesn't have good range, but it did do it. 161, 176, dropped here, held VWAP a bit nicer, 168, spiked to 177. So we're looking at, just 9 pennies right there. Not really that much range, but could be a lot worse. GGII. Them actually bought this right here. It's actually not a bad idea. Like, I consider the VWAP triangle. This is like buying the first dip below VWAP to see how it goes. That's something I might adjust and look more into. I've actually, for the past few days, I've been looking at the same setups, even trading the same stocks that Tim is trading. And before I would say, oh, that's really cool, I'm on the right track, but now it's like, I should be doing that. I should be on the same track. So I guess it's a bit of a mind shift change there, but this is a nice idea, just to buy the first significant drop below VWAP. Just a nice big, drop right here. Big red candle, could have been maybe too excessive. Immediately reversed and sell into the consolidation here. So no setups I want to trade right now. It's just a watch, and I don't mind if I don't trade today. I'm just glad we did have that morning panic with RGBP that I could have traded in theory, but it just wasn't there for it at the right time, just quick enough, because I was looking at HMBL. Alright, it's 10:27 a.m. I actually tried here, just a small trade. I only traded like $150 position just because I knew it was a bit speculative. But RGBP did this nice breakout over here, over the all day high breakout. Also pretty significant right here. If it can break past, actually hold past 282, there's a resistance here. You might say it's 279, but it's just a very important level right here. It seems like it could still do it, but not at the time anymore. So I just went ahead and sold my position. Just didn't like the price action. I tried being a little patient with it. I just didn't like it. I bought at 1022. Look at that big dump. And there was too many people selling on the ask, too many people dumping their shares on the bid, but it was a nice attempt, I think, for what it was. Just a small speculative trade, just trying to see if I could find an edge. I didn't like how far we were from the VWAP either, so I kind of wanted it to be a very quick uptrend once it broke this all-day high level. And when we didn't get that, and it was showing these signs of bad price action, I got out of it. But I think it was a good try. So I bought 5,000 shares, again, just a small tiny position, because I knew it was speculative, at what time was it? 10:22. So it was right here when it still looked like it could try to curve up and, you know, make a leg up, but then it was 10:25. I tried selling for break even here. My order wasn't getting executed, so then at 10:26 I sold, you know, just one, whatever you want to call that, just a small piece less than what I bought it for, and that was the end of it. I lost 50 cents. It was a good trade attempt. Now this thing looks like it's trying to drop towards VWAP. If we get a panic all of a sudden, that would be nice, but I don't think he'll do that. GGII, nothing I want to trade really. This one could be building up towards a breakout too. I would just like it to be closer to VWAP. Just learning from RGBP right now. LTNC, I guess I had that dip too. I never noticed it. Maybe I could have tried it. It could have been like that GGII trade where it had that, you know, just dip right below that VWAP level, and then LTNC did it here too, from 59 to 61. Not much range though. OZSC, don't want to trade it. I just don't like how it looks with this. Now it has two of these little things. The chart is messed up. So yeah, just no setups. Is going to be a continued watch. Probably, maybe no other trades today. It'll just be a watch. But yeah, I'm definitely still looking. Alright, it's 11:13 a.m. I'm going to call it off, but before I do, I just want to just go over one thing, and this is going to be basically the difference between RGBP and GGII, which both, this one's very nice. I missed it here. Was not there for any of this. This would have been at around the 1050 anyway, so that's when I start looking at the market a bit less, but hey, it worked out then. Feel a bit salty, but it would have been worse if I was there at the moment and I just hesitated. So this one had a breakout over the day high. I tried a trade here, just a small speculative trade. Immediately failed and rejected, now under VWAP, and it's down on the day. And GGII is sure off of its highs, but it's at 15, and this one had its original breakout here too at 12.4. So what's the difference? Why did this one work out and the other one, RGBP, not work out? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. You know, it doesn't have to be an exact science, but this is one thing to take into consideration. Look at where RGBP is in the pattern. Way off of its all-time highs. GGII at its all-time highs. In fact, if we go back a year, nobody has been in this stock at a higher price. That might be bag holding, unless you're holding a stock here from 2004. You know, then that makes something else. But no, basically there's no bag holders. Nobody here is bagging this stock. So when this stock is over here breaking the all-day high right here at 12.4, and I saw it spike up here, right? I never got in this trade because I wanted it to drop at the breakout level and then spike from there. This one didn't do it. It had a follow-up spike, and I was like, alright, that's great, and then I stopped looking at it. This became a confirmed breakout where it broke past this level here again at 12.4-ish. Did a nice uptrend, drops right, not at the level, but just slightly above, which if anything is a good sign that this thing is very bullish. Nice spike here from 12, well, yeah, from 12.7 or 12.5-ish to 17. That's a lot of range. That's much more than that's like at least a 20% move, so that's pretty impressive, right? That's very nice. Very nice move right here. RGBP did it a little bit. Bad price action immediately. If you look at the breakout level, right, the volume here wasn't that good, and on top of that, there was a lot of red volume before we even got to that big panic right here. Notice the bad price action sold immediately. So what's the main difference again with RGBP, GGII? It's that there's no bag holders, there's no overhead resistance with GGII. This is like an all-time breakout. It's also the second day in RGBP. It's not really trading its first or second day. In fact, it's looking like another red day on the day. So all-time high, no bag holders, second green day, compared to lots of overhead resistance, a lot of bad price action. GGII had very good price action. The fact that it didn't even drop to that initial breakout level when it was here, it actually just held very strongly and did a leg up, not even like a bull flag. It just held a little and brought itself a bit higher, and then here it was that confirmed breakout ultimately. The only thing going against both of these was that it's a bit far off of the VWAP level, so especially here, right? Very high off of the VWAP level, so it was here, very high off the level. That has that going against it. The time is not too bad. It's getting towards midday now, but here, when it did it here, it was much better in terms of time. GG. I'll be honest though, I see a lot of nice breakouts happen at midday, so again, just a lot of things to take into consideration. Very nice to see this work out here. Looks like I had just had one trade here with RGBP. Nice buy and sell immediately right here just because I didn't like the price action. Cut losses quickly, not intelligently. If you're like, alright, I'm going to risk it off of 28. Good luck trying to sell into this big red candle, you know? That's why I like cutting losses quickly. Not really intelligently. I like this today. It was a pretty nice day. Missed the number 5 setup here because I was looking at HMBL. Just going to call it off. Overall, a good day. A lot of lessons learned. I look forward to rewatching this. And yeah, it's a Friday, so a lot of studying today and the weekend too. Got to work on my business, catch up with orders, and yeah, like I said, just a pretty nice trading day. Very nice to see how one worked and the other one didn't, and the slow number 5 setup. The higher low off the morning panic level worked here with HMBL from 168 to 177, and the other stock RGBP, this one as well, from 25 to 26, but if you held through this channeling right here, got up to 28. So yeah, very nice. Gonna call it off. A lot of things were learned today.